Hey, the music stopped just in time for me to stop coughing uncontrollably. Hi, chat. How's it going? I just realized I still have vibrant visuals on. I gotta fix that. I'm a little late. Oops. I figured I needed a little bit of extra time, and I misjudged the extra time I needed a little bit. Let's fix vibrant visuals real quick. There you go, back to fancy. Archer help in playing Hunter, and there's a red lizard in the outskirts. What do you think I'm gonna do? What? I can't help you with that. I don't want to get eaten by a red lizard. Also, hi everyone. Hi Apples. Hi Beetle. I am not set up apparently. Where is the game? There it is. There's the sound. As you can see, I'm very prepared today. Usually I'm ready about 30 minutes early. Today I'm 30 minutes late. Anyway, we're back. Well, that wasn't fun. Oh, yeah, if I just stopped there, that wasn't the stream freezing. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm totally fine, as you can tell. Anyway, let's play the game. Yeah, what were we doing with this area last time? We added this entrance down here. So there's an actual way up. Oh yeah, I should mention the song I was playing at the start of stream is "Wet Feet," which is a song from Minecraft Dungeons that Apple's recommended in the general chat, and I just never respond to the message, but I did save it to watch later for next stream. It's a good song. I like it. Thanks for suggesting it. So I did have the notification be Pizza Rat, but I don't actually know if we're gonna be working on Pizza Rat today. I don't actually know exactly what we're gonna do. We could do some of this. Some of this restaurant. Yeah, let's go up here. So up here, I'm thinking that we should clear my inventory. That's what I'm thinking. Finally, the tree torture room? Not quite. not quite. So I'm thinking implied stairs over here. We're just going to imply the stairs. We don't need real stairs if we just imply that there are stairs here. So let's go. Oh, there's no way in there right now. That's fine. We'll make one. Close that right up. So how would I lay this out? I'm thinking maybe something like that. And then maybe this was like the family area. And these were some bedrooms. It's kind of the vibe, I think. It is a really tall room, but that's okay. Man, that is a tall room. Oh, we could also make this a bedroom and bathroom. Or we could go right here. Have this whole room be a bedroom. And then we could put a bathroom right here. Or a closet. Closet could work as well. We just need to start closing off the space somehow. I don't hate this. Maybe out a little bit more, though. We'll obviously scorch this in a bit as well. A room just means more room for shelves, of course. We need so much storage. It's an absurd amount of storage. Yeah, I kind of like that layout. So we need a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Maybe even a little bit of this. And make sure this looks all smoke covered. It's just been scorched. Especially up near the top. Actually, that's more just darkening for smoke. Put some up here as well. Maybe I just want it to look like smoke actually like rose up here and then stain the wall. There we are. Yeah, I like this. Upper floor could provide an explanation for the burns on the first floor. Like, so we actually did have an explanation for this one. That's why we have the boarded up window. There is going to be something here eventually, the edge of the quarantine zone, and pretty much I'm thinking Molotov got thrown through the window by accident and it ended up here instead of where it should be over there. So someone pretty much just firebombed it by accident. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, the many who died in this house fire. They might be missed, who knows? Probably not, because there's no one left to miss them. Alright, let's go. Oh, actually, I just had an idea. Right over here. There we go. So here's the idea here. Essentially it burned this area enough that it's just like some of the like wood inside the wall is still there, but just burned off the outer layers before it got put out. Next up, we need a nice little bed. How about a light gray? They'll get a nice size bed. We'll put it at that size. Maybe a little desk over on this side. What did I use for down here, actually? A lot of this material, so like, why don't we use the same kind of stuff up here? A little bit of that. A little table. And then maybe a little bookshelf on this side of the room. If I can find books. There they are. I don't know if I can fit something right here. Unless I move this over here. I kind of like that. Using the space a little bit better. And then we could put some shelves up here. In fact, I have a better way of doing shelves. Maybe not those. How about that? And then some of these going up. And some of these. I don't even need to put anything on them because you can just tell they're shelves. We can put a few books in here. And we get a flower pot as well. Just a dead flower. And then I'm thinking next. I think these people like green, but maybe they also like some other colors. Actually, why don't I pick a painting for the wall and then I make the rug match that? Is that just too high up? I feel like I need to bring the ceiling down. There we go, a little lower. Honestly, that makes quite the difference. How wealthy was the vegan restaurant owner? Were they a good person? I'm thinking they kind of just minded their own business, kind of did their own thing, and they weren't particularly wealthy, kind of middle of the road. So, I mean, I'd say good person. Like, you know, maybe the person who lives here isn't one of those people who tries to really, really hard convince everyone to become vegan. I don't know if I've actually ever talked about it on stream, but I barely eat meat. There's like a couple I do. Just don't really need it. Don't really care for it. Not for any moral reason. How about a little fish tank? A little fish tank always is nice. Here's Rain World Saint. IRL confirmed. Yep. That's how you figured it out. It's been revealed. Finally. I like that, but let's put it over here. A very rustic looking room. Maybe even another painting right here. I probably want the horse one. Yeah. And why don't we get some lights in here? Maybe like a big lamp. Big lamp. I find it really funny that in the same campaign, if you eat any kind of meat, it's like as simple as a pathway, you'll practically commit cardiac arrest. Is it that bad? Gosh. That's worrying. I don't like how tall this room is. Let's make it shorter. There we are. And we can put a few little trinkets in here if I can find anything that would look good. Yeah, maybe an old vase. Maybe another one. Oh yes, a pig head. That would go great in there. Maybe like an old plushie that got a little burnt. You know, it's a, you know, still a good plushie, but it got a little burnt up. Let's see, what else can I put in here? That would be nice. Maybe a little crystal. Anything else? Maybe a cobweb, actually. That cobweb was right there before the fire. A little bit right there as well. There we go. There's Skeleton Skull, Toasty Marshmallow plushie. I feel like this looks more like a plushie. I don't know if I want to put 2 in there, but I could use it as an alternate version for other stuff. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something people like to have up in their building, in their rooms sometimes, or their offices. Diploma. Let's get this put in. Just make the room a little shorter so it's a little bit more manageable. Maybe just a little table right here. Hey, welcome to the stream, Chips. And I'm thinking just dead plant here. I should probably texture this a little bit more now up here, because now it'll actually matter that we can go up here. There we are. Maybe this. A little bit of that. There we are. That feels good. This area doesn't need to be too detailed because anything that would have been detailed would have been burned in a fire. So that gives me a nice excuse to just not do any of that. Though, to be honest, I have a feeling all of this fire detailing we've done is probably a lot more work than just decorating. Also, I put like a little bit of scorch on this. There we go. Just a little bit. Awesome. So right now there's no way in there. But we could fix that. I'm thinking maybe it includes that. Because then you can get to here. And maybe I just bust out these two. You can climb in. I do need a top floor. I'm thinking maybe like an entertainment area. Where's my exit? There it is. A bit of that. And let's add to the stairwell. We need a little bit of black concrete. And there we go. Oh, it looks like I already did this. Oh, I need to do it for the floor above. Well, that just works out then. I already put slabs on the ceiling. Well, we put a bathroom in here and then also have it be the main entertainment area nearby. So kind of the more communal spaces of the house. So I'm thinking bathroom there. And then kind of an entertainment space. Wait, should I put the TV on that wall or that wall? Because if I put it on that wall, then there's nothing behind it. But that comes at the cost, so it would clearly be in a bad position because of glare. But if I put it here, it's gonna kind of be the same story, so it blocks a window. So I guess I put it right here. Let's get a nice entertainment system. Like these guys really like TV, so they went for something a little nicer, or maybe a little older. Could be just old. There we go. A little bit dusty. Next up, we need a nice little couch. I'm thinking maybe we could go oxidized, but I kind of like the idea of crimson. I just kind of like the idea. There we go. Nice little family area. Maybe a green and purple carpet. Could be nice. Oh, wait, maybe not. Maybe cyan. No. I could just do green, but I don't know if I like that enough. I could just put brown rug, actually. I mean, brown's a pretty good color for a rug. It's very non-offensive. All right, let's do that. And there should be slabs. Yep, there are. So I can just do this. Mess up some of these so it's not as even. It's looking pretty nice. I'm thinking trapdoors, which does mean I need to make sure these spots are open. That's fine though. Actually, it could be quite a nice little accent to do it like this. Because then it feels like the purple is just the cushion. That. Oh, I'm gonna need to do the whole area back here with this. There we are. Nice little entertainment area. Oh, there's a hole here. Okay, I'll just fill that in. So why don't we put this wall right here? I think there's gravel up here is why I made it like this. Oh, never mind. I guess there's not. Like tile. That makes that a lot more convenient. We'll do a nice dark oak door right there. And that'll lead into the bathroom. I don't know if they could fit a bathtub in here, but they can definitely fit a shower. They can just like yay tall. One of those kind of glass showers. And what tiling would these people use? And there's not that many kinds of tiles in this game, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess I'd probably go for this. Or maybe just quartz. We could try this. I don't mind that. Can't really mess with the outside, though. I put a faucet up there. And let's put a sink and mirror on this side. So we will need a cauldron. And probably some of these, because that is what I've been using in this house a lot. We can put our faucet on that. And of course a little towel. Oh, that goes under there. Alright, we can put a towel right over there. Oh, there's no toilet in here. We gotta fix that. It's like priority 1. Here's what I'm thinking, just that and that. Easy enough. Which does mean we could do a towel right there. That's not too bad. Oh, I can't bring this ceiling down anymore. Why don't we put a plant shelf up here? If I want, I can always put that in there as well. I don't know if that looks right, though. So here's how I'm thinking of making this a nice plant shelf. This would have had access to plenty of water. So I'm thinking it's just overgrown in here. So we get some of this. Some of that. And make it more clear it was a plant originally by just putting in something like this. There we go. It spread a little bit. Just a little bit. There we are. The pipe burst or something? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I might put a puddle in here as well. That. Let's get a little bit of that. A little bit of that. I've used a command block to make dripping water particles from the drip wire hook like it's a leaky faucet. That could work. It's been a little while since I've done particle commands, so stick with me. Where can we conceal this? I'd like it to be pretty close to the location if possible, since then it's just easier to work with. Why don't we just put it like out here under a table? And do something like maybe something like that in the hallway. Yeah, and then that gives us the opportunity to do something right here under this. It's been a while. Let's do this particle. It's water dot drip. Or no, it's with water craft. Water drip is what I would assume it would be. Let's just put 2 blocks above my head. I need to look up the particles list. Where's my particles list? I usually check. All right, this should be every single one. Oh, this isn't the one I usually look at. Never mind. Where's the one I usually look at? There it is. I'm just gonna slash F or Control F for find. I'll just type in drip. Honey drip, lava drip, nectar drip, stalactite, lava drip, stalactite, water drip particle. There we go. All right, so we want block position. We can tweak it a little bit more after. Let's put that in for now. Grab that. And let's just put that on always active and see how that goes. That's too fast. So first of all, let's make it every like 30 ticks, so every 1.5 seconds. And now it's too low. Honestly, it's pretty good on that axis. Maybe 0.2 blocks higher. Yeah, higher. 0.3. And what direction is this? Negative. I think I messed something up. Oh, it was colliding with this. We could do 0.1 maybe, and maybe it would work. Let's see. No. Okay. 0.08. I saw just the splash. Okay. 0.6. We're dialing it in. Yeah, it's still just splashing. 0.5? Kidding. Really? 0.4? As close as we can get it? Not working. Just gotta keep making it a little further out. That's crazy. That's just, that might just be as close as we can get it. With we have to have it float out in the front a little bit. Yeah, I think we just need to go to 0.0. I mean. Yeah, even 0.01 is too close. That's as close as we can get. Yeah, I've never seen him collide with Tripwire Hook before. I think they're too common right now. What do you think? Hmm. You know, the more I stare at it, the more I feel like it might be good. It's false. 70? It's a lot more. We could look at it though. See, that should be 3.5 seconds between. You know, I'm actually not opposed to that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it at that. That seems good. Next up, why don't we have a nice little painting over here? I could do a big painting, but I don't think that looks as good as doing something a little smaller. Honestly, actually, the little clown guy, I think actually is the right choice here. He usually isn't, to be honest. So I'm thinking water in here. So let's start with this. That. We can also do smooth quartz there. You know, maybe it's even made its way over here. It's been dripping for a long time. Let's even make it so some stuff is growing on the floor now. What do I want growing here? How about just a bush? There we are. It's a little bit of a swamp in here, as that's just been leaking for years. Slowly drip feeding this area water. I'm thinking we need some lamps in here, and one that's fallen over. It's gonna be a really moldy bathroom, yeah. It's not doing so good in there. So I'm thinking that one's still upright. And, you know, maybe one of these fell. Actually, I don't want that close. And this needs a back on it, so I need to move that to here. These aren't facing the same direction anymore. This lamp has fallen over. I don't know if this room needs much more. Maybe some blinds, actually. Here's what I'm thinking. They had blinds up here so they could watch like movies and stuff without having like a ton of glare on the TV. They're mostly closed. There we are. Why don't we add a little bit of just damage? It's like a little bit along here. Especially in here, water damage is important. Make it all icky. There we are. One other thing I could do to make this room a little bit more interesting is break a little bit of a window right here and have it as if the plants have just kind of spilled in and overtaken. This is why they were eating all the plants. They knew this was going to happen. Plants were going to take over their house. Maybe it's crept up the wall as well. Right here. I might need some thicker leaves for those blocks, though. There we are. I need a little bit of vines. Just to detail a little bit further. A bit of that. There we are. I like that. I just don't know how you get in here, though. Maybe something up here. I could make this hallway more interesting by making a roof collapse. Also, why in the world is this chimney right here now I think about it? Let's not worry about that. There's just some like stuff that goes up and then to the side. There we are. Or maybe just that. And then I could even some of this in here. Hey, welcome to the stream, Mad Lad. Let's see, also, I can't remember if you made one of those fire escape metal staircases that are on the side buildings. We have a couple of those. There's one over here. There's one over here. We could try and fit one in. I don't know if I could fit one in there. I could look and see if I could just squeeze one in there. I don't know if I can. A little bit of this. Oh, this just goes to the next floor. That's fine. Because that's actually above the next floor, technically. Here I have one. Don't worry about making another. I'm just curious. Yeah, we have a couple around. So why don't we bring in even more foliage from up here? Because we love foliage. Foliage is great. That, that, and that. this here. Oh, we could make it so you could get out through the roof from this by dropping some vines down. So that leads you up here. And there is actually already a way to get up here. So this is now accessible via the roof. That also means that we can damage this wall a bit because, well, it's been exposed to the elements. Especially down here. Perfect. What I have to do is go right up here. Oops, I messed that up. Up here, and then you just climb out. And there is actually a way to get up there. Right down here. Up through the tree. Over here. Or any way that gets you up on top of this, which there are many. Over here. Here. And up. Easy. And then you can just drop right in here. Perfect. Well, that building's done, then. Like, as done as it could possibly be right now. So that's very good. That building's done. That building's done. That one's done. This one's done. This one's done. That one's done. There's very few buildings that aren't completely done. There is actually, I guess this building's not technically completely done because this still exists, which is gonna be its own whole thing. And I'm a little bit putting it off, to be honest. But we're getting very close to having everything done. I've never been this committed to a Minecraft build. I'm genuinely so in awe. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I haven't been this committed to one build in a long time. It's definitely the most hours I put into a single build in years. So what do we still need to do? We need police station. We need radio station. We need underground parking garage. We need to finish the metro. And we need to do the bank. And that's it. So, like, 1 point, it's like 0.5. Let's see, so like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3.5. 3.5 interiors, finish the metro, and then build the underground parking garage. And then that's it. You forgot the depths below the metro. What would even go down there? There's just not much to have down there. I mean, I do technically have a lot of space before I hit the ground, but it's fine. The void. I don't know about that. We could just leave it as metro. I think metro is probably going to be the lowest zone. I would like to make a way up from here. Because that would be nice. Maybe some iron bars could help. I've been a little stuck on how to make this look right. Maybe something like with broken stairs right there. Oh wait, that would just get you up immediately. I don't know if I want it to be that easy now that I think about it. I could do something like across here. That could be kind of good. You know what? Why am I making it difficult? I don't need to make it difficult. Let's just put like an iron bar right there, maybe. Yeah, actually, let's just do it the reasonable way of this. Like, that's easy. Let's say parking garages can connect to the strangest places down the lowest floors. Since nobody really parks 4 layers down, I imagine it'd be a bit eerie. It is probably going to be flooded at that level. That is the current plan. A lot of caves in real life, and I think this would act fairly similarly to a cave. When you get water just getting in there, there's nowhere for it to, like, there's no sun to make it evaporate. So it kind of just sits. And, like, we'll get to a certain point where it can evaporate, and then it will just kind of equalize at that point. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or alternatively, it fills up and then slowly leaches into the ground and then fills up again, so on and so forth. Still water. Oh yeah, it's going to be still down there. Nothing's living down there. That's not going to be today, though. Why don't we do a bit of the police station? I missed yesterday's stream. Well, welcome to the stream, Monarch. Moth. Why did I go Monarch first? I've said Moth every other time we've talked, and it just cool. I'm just going crazy. Alright, so I have a plan for. Oh wait, this would be the garage, wouldn't it? We could fix that. Right, eating amoeba mold, yeah. It happens to the best of us. That's what's happening to me, of course. As the best of us. No, I'm definitely not the best of us. Okay, let's put these in. A bit of this. A bit of that. Brain eating amoeba mod. That isn't like a Minecraft mod. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my brain. I need an amoeba to do it for me. Is this really where the street level is? I guess we can do this. A little bit of this. I do need a holding cell. That shouldn't be too hard to make. Let's put in a floor here. I'm going to lift up this garage door a little bit. There we are. There we are. Maybe I need something a little bit more structural right there. Actually, no, that's fine. I'll do this as well. So the main thing I need to do is add this along here. I just just need the little tracks that a garage door runs across. Like 3 more. There we are. The car is currently outside, so we don't have to worry about this. And why don't we just put a few like crates and stuff in here, as well as maybe some like locker type things. Yeah, why don't we get some lockers? I had a brain-eating amoeba once. Poor fella died of hungry. Well, I'm so sorry for your amoeba. Sounds tragic. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, they're all going the same way. I can do this. No, I can't. Because I placed them on that block. There we go. You guys have brains? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I keep a few in jars. They're cool like that. You can jiggle them around and see how they move. All right. There's that. And then we put some random boxes and crates over here that have been piled up at some point during this apocalypse. I'm kind of thinking this place had like one of those lights that just hangs on the little thing. Actually, I don't know if I could fit that in here because, yeah, there's a weird ceiling. I may not. But... I once read in a science textbook that you aren't supposed to touch your brain. Yeah, if you touch your brain, you're in trouble. And not just because it's not allowed. Like, you are, I mean, if it's exposed in the first place, that's its own whole issue. But if you're touching it, that's going to do even more. Oh, I could do this. Like that. Do this, and then actually let's do it this way. There we go. Garage door. And a nice little garage. We gotta do this wall, though. Get this done. A little bit of texturing over here. Maybe a tiny bit right here. Thinking inside the lockers isn't going to be as beat up. Because, well, it's inside a locker. But over here, it kind of needs to be. Get a little bit of that right there, as well as a bit of diorite. And a bit of that. It's quite nice. Armor stand side locker. I could. What would it be though? That'd be my main thing. What would the armor stand like be other than just like a mannequin that someone stuffed in a locker? That would be my only concern. Okay, there's no way upstairs. We could add a jail to the side. Mannequin with a funny hat on it. Brilliant. Skeleton site closet in the literal sense. One sec, let me see what I think about this. No, go in the locker. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Did my eyes deceive me, or did I see a roof without a building below it? No, your eyes deceived you. This building's a real building and not a facade that I used to fill in that gap between those two buildings. How dare you suggest such a thing that I would ever have just a facade building to hide that particular area? I would never. So, what does it look like inside a police station? I don't typically go to a police station because I'm not a criminal or a cop. Just trust me, I'm definitely not a cop. You gotta believe me, I'm definitely not a cop. Don't worry about it. This is so much nicer than an actual police station. I need to make this worse. Yeah. A couple of these are decent. Actually, a couple of these are a little nicer. I feel like I just built like a bank. Yeah, it is a very Grian move to just do that side. Yeah, there's a reason he's so successful. Alright, let's get rid of this desk, because it's more of a bank teller desk anyway. And I'm thinking we replace that with something a little bit more brutal looking. Just something like that. Very simple. And we need another big light. I still think this is a little bit better. There we are. Yeah, I just need this to be like a little less inviting. Can I buy the world? No, it is mine. Long live sustainable building techniques. It works. I can sell air in the ball. Disco beat me to it. I didn't even see the message before you already made the joke I was gonna make. If you want to know what joke I was gonna make, just reference Disco's message. Except, imagine I made that joke instead, and it was hilarious. Oh, that wasn't a question. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess you can. All right, so I'm thinking back here is, I'm just gonna kind of just fit in some new stuff. Now this is becoming a problem. All right, I'm thinking stairs need to go in here somewhere, as well as I need the like little jail cell they have in these kind of places, little holding cell. So I'm thinking this. Who knows? Maybe they just left a lot of these doors open for no reason. It's probably fine. Iron bars. All the way around here. Here's a great thing, if I just leave this open. That doesn't really connect, right? I was hoping it would connect a little bit better. Maybe if I enough different ways, I'll just figure it out. Huh. Okay, I've solved it. That worked. That always works. We go right here. Got bars here. And a little bit of reinforcement there. Jail cell. Minecraft villager, yeah, this is what they've been doing. They've been trying to figure out how to build. Just haven't been able to. There's honestly a pretty spacious jail cell that I'm looking at it. We could make it smaller. That's fine. I really want to keep within the boundaries as much as possible that I drew for myself. I don't know how I'm going to have upstairs access right now. That was my one main issue. But regardless, let's put in this for now. 1x2x2 cubicle with a bezel floor. Yeah, I could do that, but sometimes just making things a little bit larger, it just helps sell it a little bit. Like, let's get this going. So why I'm going to do a bunk bed here, if I actually think I'm going to do 3 bunks instead, is because a lot of these cells, they'll just kind of throw multiple people in if they don't think they're dangerous and they just did minor things. They'll just kind of throw a couple in there. Save everybody some taxpayer money. Yay, taxpayer money has been saved. Okay, they've got the like really weird jail toilet. You know the one. It's like, I'm just gonna make a normal like toilet but gray. It's gonna look better. There we go. Perfect. A nice little jail cell. Wow. Chat, don't you just want to live in here forever? Doesn't this seem nice? Doesn't this seem like where you should be? Wouldn't this be nice? I mean, I don't deserve being in here, but... So I wouldn't want to be here, but... What kind of prison has a triple bunk bed? Technically just a jail, not a prison. Oh yeah, here's a fun fact for chat. Jail and prison are actually different. Not a lot of people realize that. This is a jail. A prison is the actual like complex. Jail is just essentially a holding cell for like, you know, when they get like a few drunks and just toss them in here for a bit or whatever. They you know, they can stack like 3 people in this room because just non-violent criminals. They just toss them in there for a bit. Jurism. Ah, yes. So... I could make it go up over here. Could also make it right here. Yeah, why don't we make the guard room like right over here? Like where the police officers can just hang out all day. And by hang out, I mean do their jobs. Does a boarding school count as a prison? I don't think it would. Because it's a boarding school, not a prison. Hey, this is expanding way too far outside this area. I'm gonna make a few changes. Because I really don't want this to expand too far out of like its footprint, because now we have to do something back here and fix it. We're just gonna pop a roof on this for now. I am realizing that you can get down here technically. Yeah, I gotta reuse some room for the underground garage, of course. I didn't even think about how that's gonna interact with this. That's close, but I think that's fine. Yeah, that's doable. Yeah, that is a little close though. We're gonna put these over this just so I remember that there do need to be blocks over there. There we go. It's very dark. And why don't we put desk back here? For whoever's keeping watch. We can put a coffee mug on here. What if you just take half the city block and push it somewhere else? I could, but also I don't want to change up the whole layout of the city just for that tiny room. All right, let's think this through. All right, step one, this needs to move up. Step two, this is now a wall, so a smaller entrance to that area. Coffee mug moves up. These move up. Even this. And now we can do this. Now we put the actual stairs behind that. Here we are. We finally made a way actually up into the police station. Yay. Let's open up all these windows. Make it nice and visible. Let's start getting a layout figured out for this interior. Oh, first of all, this ceiling has to change. Unfortunately. We need this to be a floor as well. strip. So I'm gonna just go figure out where each level needs to have stuff. So this definitely needs to be the floor right here along this specific level. I'll leave it kind of open for now as we're figuring everything out. And what rooms are in a police station? I don't spend that much time in a police station. Let's see, police station, architectural layout, blueprint. Oh. Here is an actual layout. All right. So the detective and some of those people are kind of their own thing. They're like their own subgroup. So we have detention. We need dispatch. We need administration, which we'd honestly lump those together quite easily. We need patrol, which I think patrol stuff is mainly just like weapons lockers. That would just be like down below. A break room would be nice with some donuts. Yeah, I'm looking at a floor plan. Apparently just a Pinterest floor plan of a police station. I don't know how that got on there. But let's see if I can find any other diagrams. Oh, actually, everyone does have desks. More like little cubicles. All right, level 1, right here. I'm thinking this is going to be our probably patrol officers area. Like the sergeants and I guess maybe the sheriff, who knows. Anyway, let's go up here. Oh, I should probably put the stairs like right here again. Yeah, maybe just here on every level. That could look quite good. Save some space, and it'll help us more normalize the floor plan for each floor by having that in the same place. The one downside is I do have to do this. Wait, no, because that would go there. That would tick up to there, yeah, and then this goes back here to start again. Oh wait, okay, no, that's fine. And that would go there, which means we're good to go across again. Let me do that. There we go. I also suggested add a fireman's pole. Yeah, not quite. You've got the right spirit, just not quite the right profession. Right. Up here. This seems to be the highest. Oh wait, there's one more on that side. We'll figure that out independently in a moment. Actually, why don't we do this? A little different, but that just gives us the opportunity to do that. That's gonna bug me. This also might. I have a way to fix it. I still have one. Yeah, there we go. I like that. So that should have most levels covered. We'll have to figure out this. But that's not too bad. We'll probably want to block off the stairs on one of these levels. So then there's actually a reason to go along here. So I'm thinking maybe this one you can get into. I could just block off the first stairs. We'll figure that out once we get in some of the other stuff. What do we want? The one I looked up had little cubicles for each person when they need to do paperwork. Just not super big cubicles, just something like this. I guess, you know, maybe a little wider than a normal place would have. And we'll get a chair. They can have a little nicer chairs up here because they're not down in like the public facing area where the criminals go. We need this and that, and put those down. We need, crap, I messed up. That one's fine because that looks like a cracked screen. Our golden opportunity for a flooded basement. It would be, but also it would go directly into where we're going to build some stuff later. Because this is directly above. Yeah, this is directly above the parking garage. Which maybe would be a bad design choice, but whatever. Oh, thought I was going to sneeze and I just didn't. I was just waiting. I always mute up before I sneeze, and I just was waiting for it to happen. It just wouldn't go. Let's get some black stained glass in here. There we go. Now the stream froze. Yeah, I can see why. Nah, I froze. So I'm thinking maybe here's the sheriff or deputy's office over here. Yeah. Or I could do the opposite. I could put the cubicles over here and then put the deputy's office here. I wouldn't be able to make it very big, probably. Oh, no, I could. Yeah, I could just reorganize that. How much room do these people usually allocate for this kind of stuff? Let me look at some plans. Not that much. I can also just put the break room over here. And then even the deputy. Yeah, why don't we put 2 more computers over here? Or those feel too cramped. No, that feels about right. Oh, those are too tall. Let's box that in even more. Yeah, can have their broken screen. There we are. Yeah, then why don't we actually move the break room door right here, so it's a little bit more of a convenient location. Or we could even just make the hallway bigger. And we can get our classic water cooler we've used for every other occasion where we need a water cooler. My iconic water cooler design. So iconic. There we are. And how about a nice little place to make some coffee? Right there. And we'll even put a mug out on the desk. Some chairs over here. I'm thinking this is like a little table area. That's not the one I meant to grab. There we are. And a little bit of a light on the ceiling, of course. Nice fluorescent light. That doesn't actually work, of course. All right. There's a good start on this. Let's break this a little bit, though. Yeah, here we are. Oh, actually, there's some more things I want to put around here. Banker's boxes, type like file boxes. We're pulling up some files and stuff. Let's put like a couple over there. And one right there. Maybe a little bit further that way. Yeah, right there I think is good. Next up would be... We could do dispatch next or detective's office. Yeah, why don't we do some of the important people's offices next? This is quite the Claird police station. Must be a lot of crimes. Yeah, so I actually was gonna explain why I was gonna do that, and I just completely forgot once I put the boxes down. Um, the plan for right here is this is going to be the only extension to the city right here. This is going to be the quarantine edge. So like there's probably going to be a tank and some other stuff just like lined up right here, as in like the military has shut down this road. So they've kind of just enlisted the police's help. So they are so much busier arresting people right now. Or I guess were before before everyone died. So yeah, that's why they're so busy right now. Or were so busy when they all died horrifically. All right, let's head up here. And an office right here would be nice, maybe. I love arresting people who are running for their lives from the zombie apocalypse. You should join this police force. Good soldiers follow orders. We put just like a little table right here with some chairs for in case they need something out here. There we are. That's nice. And then over here, we can have an office, and over here, have an office as well. Random last name generator. Give me strength. Where's a good last name generator? Here we go. Made this one work. American, yeah, probably. Many, give me like as many as they'll give me. All right. Or we could actually make these references. Yeah, why don't we make these references? I think that's cooler. Why don't I take that and then this and then this? Detective something. And sheriff something, or sergeant. Who's in charge of patrol officers? Who's like the most important one? Police corporal or police captain? Yeah. Why don't we have this police corporal. There we go. Police corporal blank. Captain Holt. I don't actually know that reference. Sheriff Steve. And that might be a first name. Steve Minecraft, so it would be Sheriff Minecraft. So yeah, this will be the corporal's office. So why don't we put a nice little desk in here? A little nicer one. Not the captain, police detective. Jake Peralta. I don't know that one either. All right, so this person's gonna need a bunch of stuff on a bookshelf. Find them. Thinking like that. From the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Interesting. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We could put painting up on the wall. Oh, actually, let's get a like diploma of some sort up on the wall. They like to have those in prestigious offices. Maybe another one. You know, real fancy. Inspector Gadget. Detective Gadget. What can I put in here? Maybe a plant. Let's get this in here. And we'll just have that be a little overgrown, not even that much. Maybe just like a little bit that grew down there as well. I can't put vines on this now. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe this guy's a banker's box out as well. He's also been hard at work, locking people up. I mean, that's not a bad office right there. Not a lot, but kind of okay for this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe we can come back in here and put a few more things in. Oh, like a coffee mug. Next up, we... Oh yeah, we need a window right here. No, a window right here as well. For the detective, I'm thinking, you know, a little different vibes. Like one of those kind of more, yeah, ominous cave sound. It's a sign, yeah, that this one's gonna be an ominous room, I guess. Cave sounds just constantly play in this world because I'm technically below cave level. There we go. And then when I put a big old bookshelf in this corner. And why don't we put some diploma or something on the wall here as well. But why don't you put painting up? Something classy like that. They also play from blocks and low light levels. Well, that would make sense as well. Oh, we could actually vary this bookshelf. Let's grab that. I can do a little bit of this. People like this usually have a lot of books, like to the point where their bookshelf is stuffed. I've been in like some legal offices before, and holy cow, do they have a lot of books. So many books. And then let's get this cool piece of paper on the wall. Oh, wait, actually, I know something better than that to use for a diploma. Let's get a map instead. The color just feels more right. And you know what? Why don't we just switch out like one of these? There we go. Now I gotta think about this. Detective and police corporal. When I get the detailing done, while I think about that. A little bit of this. A little bit of this. Oops, I broke a painting. That's fine. There we go. Fixed. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. Perfect. And then maybe over here there are some other boxes because we love boxes. We love having a million boxes. Specifically though, let me get one of those little like hand cart things that they use. How can I make that? That'll do. And I can put like a paper and a book on here. Let's like get a book. Well, that's what they need. This would be on a cart like this. Just put a book. Another one. Let's just turn a little different. No. It's not the vibe. And then how about we do that and then another box. There we are. All right, so this would have to be administration / dispatch up here, which is good. I'm fine with that. I already kind of did administration, to be honest. We could make this just mostly dispatch. What does a dispatch room look like? Just a lot of computers and phones, I would assume. Let me look it up. Police dispatch room. That's a lot of computers. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Finally, the pewter room. Indeed. So from what it seems, they just put as many computers in a single room as they possibly can. And with like many monitors. Like each person has got like 3 to 4 monitors. That guy's got 5? Oh, this person's got like, how many is that? 14. How do you even use 14 monitors? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 monitors? They've got so many monitors. Crazy gaming setup, yeah. This will go crazy. I mean, I feel like I've got a lot of monitors, and I've got 3. I honestly think 3 is the perfect number for me. Because when I'm streaming, have something up on, I have 2 things on either side monitor and one thing, and my game on the main one. I don't really need any more. 14 monitors. Are you sure it's not a surveillance room? It might have been a surveillance room. I was like half joking about how many monitors there are in some of these. There was a 7 that actually was a dispatch room. Definitely some of these results are surveillance rooms. I got played up a little bit. Anyway, let's make the ultimate gaming setup up here. Oh, I also need the staircase up to the top. Let's see how many blocks it takes to get up there. I have to be a little bit more sparing with my block use here. There's not a lot of room. 1, 2, 3, and then 2. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, why don't we do something more like this? Can I fit this? It's a little close, but I think that's fine. I think I prefer that to having it just in a completely different place, because then I can just replace this with an actually normal wall again. Be great. Let's see. I have one monitor and I'm just constantly flipping through a dozen different windows. So fun and enjoyable. I very much recommend getting another monitor for anyone who just has one. I don't think most people need more than 2. 2 seems like plenty for most people. Like, I technically have 5 things up at any given time. I guess 6. No, 7. Because I have Discord up on one side of the screen over here in this direction. I've got OBS up here. I've got both Twitch chats up here. I've got Microsoft Edge for actually pulling up my own stream to make sure everything's working, as well as the thing that actually makes Twitch chat work. And then voice mods up here behind the Twitch chat. It's great. I have 2 and it's just enough. I resent anyone who has those unnecessary extra ultra wide monitors. Yeah, I don't get the point ultra wide monitors. Like just get an additional monitor. I don't get that. Because just everything's aspect ratio is gonna be messed up. It's not gonna work right. Like it's just wrong. Unless that's like your only monitor, then I get it. So how can I make a multi-monitor setup here? That's what I gotta figure out. Okay, I have an idea. I need this kind of desk in particular. It's not the prettiest, but hear me out. Gaming. Anyway, I can make that better though. Let's make these look more like actual monitors. Wait, I won't be able to do the bottom of those screens. Yeah, well, we can just leave those black, I guess. Makes more sense. I do think that this is going to look better than most things I could do. Oh, I can't place a keyboard there. That's fine. I think we're going to have to compromise on this kind of desk. It's not ideal, by any means, but it has 3 monitors, which there's not a lot of ways you can make a 3 monitor setup that looks normal in Minecraft, so I think we have to just take the slight misshapen desk. It's not the desk isn't even that bad, to be honest. All right, let's put another one here. Not here. Actually, let's move this one over by one. There we are. Brown carpet work any better since it's thinner? It might actually. That would look nice. Hopefully. I think that would look better though. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Yeah, I much prefer that. That was a good suggestion. Thank you, good sir. See, these even just look like the things you have behind monitors, like the little arms that hold them up. Yeah, like this looks good. I actually like this now a lot more. There's some of dispatch. Why don't I put one more dispatch desk over here? It's a little bit crowded, but you know, just, you know, how it's gonna be. And there's like this that goes up here to the mystery zone that I haven't decided what's gonna be yet. That does actually leave us a whole room over here, though. We could do administration, like a proper admin area. Like pop in 2 little offices right here. Oh, we could also do some filing rooms. I think that's actually what I'm gonna do. Actually, why don't I just be one big room? No point in making it two. This can just be open as well. Yeah, it's stacked high with these. You got filing cabinets as far as the eye can see. Why don't we put in some boxes as well? There, went up like that. There we go. Room for all of that. All of those files that they need. I mean, we could put one more desk in. Might be a lot of dispatch, though. Why don't we put another couple boxes over here? I turn that one that way, like that. Yeah, the boxes have just made their way out of this room. Fully now. Maybe even one made over here. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I didn't even think about this roof thing. They'll never notice if the roof is slightly thicker here. No one would ever know if I just did this. Oh, wait, is this? This doesn't even matter. I can just change this. This is covered. It's literally not an issue. Great. Yeah, I think I'll make the roof look a little bit more worn though, like that. I believe, yeah, just the same here. Well, that's convenient. I thought I was gonna have to do some shenanigans to make it look right, but nope. Yeah, it's fine. Look at me planning ahead by accident. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There we are. Let's get a little bit of this. Press enter by accident. Yeah, I was about to say, what in the world does that mean? Oh, we gotta go behind this banner. How do you know you made the best move possible, though? 4D. Fourth D is doubt. And that's what I'm contributing. Let's do this right here. Perfect. That. Oh, I never actually did the spot where you can look up from here. Let's see how I can make it look good on the rest of the floors, and then we'll match it up there. Okay, just some of these. Is it one block away from the end when it ends? Oh no, it is right at the end. So this goes forward by one. That. There we go. Do this. Put a little bit on this wall. I want it to feel a little bit broken down over the years. You know, the government isn't funding them as much as they probably should. This. Oh, we need a little bit on this wall. Yeah, some of that. Much better. And a little bit over here to kind of finish this side off. Man, this place is coming along. It may not be the most complicated interior ever, since, to be honest, these places are pretty bare bones because they're government offices at the end of the day. But I do think it looks like what I want it to be. Even if it's maybe not the most decorated place. On purpose. That's honestly one thing I've really struggled with in building in the past is letting places be a little boring sometimes. Because then you can accentuate the cool areas better. Like, you don't need everything to be eye-catching. Like, just pick your best spots and, you know, show people that. It's better. Because, I mean, there's so many spots in the city that I think most people, if they looked at it, would never care about. And that's because they're just more boring. That's fine. Can't have interesting without things being boring as well. If everything's eye-catching, nothing will be. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase that. Yeah. Sounds like some wise words said by Syndrome. Right. Let's put the windows in. Wonderful. What is up here? What would be here? What would go in this room? It could be admin, because we don't really have proper admin. Let's see. Let's see. Police, administrator, job title. Okay, straight. It's just called police administrator. Fair enough. Wow, that just showed me jobs in my area. I'm so glad I don't have that up. This thing shouldn't even know my location. That's not okay. I hate that. Anyway. Yeah, police administrator. That's the job. Just do a little bit of that. And maybe we can just cover this with that. Just for a little lip there. And that blends it a little bit better. I can put that up there. And these up here. Oh, no, I need that to the ceiling. Oh, this is the wrong ceiling. We're getting very close to done with this building. This was not at all what I was planning on working on today. I was actually going to do a different area, but you know what? We started on this and it just was what I had inspiration for. So I'm glad we did this instead. All right. How do I want to split this up? Maybe one more important desk and then maybe like a cubicle or two. It's going to be a little cramped no matter how I do it. So I just do one office. I could just make most of this just one office. Hi everyone, this is a subtle recommendation to like the stream if you like it, and to subscribe and follow if you want more. Thank you for reminding everyone, Apples, with that subtle recommendation. It's always good to have a nice little subtle recommendation to do all that. I like to imagine this administrator is just swamped with work right now. Like maybe I put their actual desk over here. And there is just boxes like everywhere. Because they are just so swamped with work right now. Or when they died or left this place. You know, they probably need a lot of those books. There we go. Yeah, why don't we put this on the side? Darn, all these cannibalism cases are through the roof. Let's put a few books in here. Now, normally these books, you know, there's online versions of them, but this person's had to be breaking out a few, so there's not as many on there right now. I'm thinking maybe there's like a shelf kind of thing behind the desk. Oh wait, I just put down slabs there. I do a little bit of, you know, a little bit of asymmetry right there. And now we put boxes. So many boxes. It'd be really funny if the half police had no idea there was a zombie apocalypse and tried sending out officers trying to arrest the zombies. I don't know how I could add that to the lore, but that could be canon. Like, I don't know how I'd visually explain, like, show that, but that can be canon. That's how he died, actually. He went out himself to go help and then got mauled. So once they actually started working with the military, it was someone else in charge. So many just bankers boxes. This is like a hellish job situation. uh, let's put some like paper and books out on the desk. There we go. So we could put some little trinkets on the shelf. I don't know what they'd be. There's so many few good little trinkets in this game. There's just so few. I usually use conduits. They don't glow very well. Or sorry, they glow too well. That's what I should say. That's just like saying I have a Dave Pilkey book. I don't know that. I don't know that author. Rest in peace, Chief. You were a real one. Yeah, conduits don't float in this version. You can place them just on the ground. They do float when they activate though, and you could place them. Yeah, they sit on the ground until you activate them on here, which is nice. How about a heavy core? How about that goes up there? Put a dead plant over here. And that could be it. Maybe a few like candles or something. I don't know. This look like something that this person might have on their stuff. Let's damage the ceiling a bit. I gotta go put some of the ceiling damage just around other places as well. Yeah, a little bit in the detective's office as well. Just a little bit. I'm thinking less ceiling damage down here. Maybe like a little bit. Oh, wait, that's going the wrong way. Yeah, a little bit right there. A little bit right there. Oh wait, is this important? No. We're fine. Like this would have been damaged a little bit more, just since there's a plant down there. Yeah, there's probably humidity in here. See, Dave Pilkey is the guy who writes Captain Underpants and Dogman. Oh, yeah, okay. I must admit, I haven't ever read either of those. Sorry, I know that's a grave crime. Let's go up here. There we are. Some friends of mine did explain it to me recently, though. They explained to me Captain Underpants. Seems like a fun book. I don't think it was anything I would have enjoyed at the target age, though, to be honest. But it seems good. Just maybe not my speed. Too intellectual for me, really. All right. Now, for the last part of stream, let's make this more fun to parkour around. Clear my inventory for a bit. Now, I think it would be fun if you could get up to this level easily. Like, why don't we smash out one of these windows? And yeah, you can go there, and there's so many different places to run across up here anyway. So that's pretty easy to reach. And you can always get over this just by doing that or going here. So that's easy to reach. So that doesn't matter as much. Though, the next thing I'd like to do is I'm going to put boxes on the stairs that fell down the stairs. Let's see, we want a little bit of that. A little bit of this. Hey, thank you for the 5 bits, Ender. I also love Pizza Rat. Now, if it ain't Pizza Rat, it ain't pizza good. That's what old Peepaw Rat used to say. I might just be losing it over the course of these streams. Sometimes I reflect on the words I say and question why I say these things. It'd be fun to put together a Sea Lore doc. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's see. Let's just punch out like a window partially. There we go. Then how about this one's punched out fully? So this is how you get into this floor and the floor below it. Because this is blocked off. Oh, I could try and make it so you could get down but not up. It wouldn't be that hard. I just have to switch this out for a slab. And then it's too high to get up. That's nice. So that gives access to this. And we could just punch out a window up here as well. Just so there's a way out. Or I can just leave it as is. Oh, or I can make this be the roof access. Right up here. Yeah, why don't we make this the roof access? How in the world do I put a door in this? I guess I can always do this as well. Evil box always getting away. Doesn't it know I'm walking here? Sorry. Doesn't know I'm walking here. There we go. Now it's set properly. There we go. There's another way into this area now. Just go through the roof. So that means there's now another way to get up to this top bit. The one thing I don't like is there's now a thing you can drop down onto, and I don't like that. I really want to cover that up, but it's going to take another building, probably. Your question is, how many buildings am I willing to build before it becomes a problem? And there has to be an intervention. Oh, actually, I see an easy solution. Let's just go here. That's it. That's all I need to do. Maybe by putting another roof that totally has a building beneath it. Or I could just extend this roof that totally has a building beneath it. Because it definitely has a building beneath it. And I could just extend the building that is definitely underneath it. There is definitely a building under here. This is making me want to do an interior for this building, which would make it into a real building. Finally, it can be a real boy. Let's do a little bit of this. That. Professional architecture. I'm so good at architecture. Imagine if I planned a city and and you just happen to live in like an apartment building and you're always like, wow, the neighbors are really quiet. And one day you're hammering something into the wall of your apartment building. And then just the bricks fall away between you and the building next door and it is just empty. Just, or even funnier, like metal and wooden supports like in like the Disneyland behind the scenes area. There's just nothing there. Behold the void. Maybe we'll do an interior for this place eventually. But for now, let's clear my inventory and I want to make this a little bit more interesting. I don't like this huge empty space. Let me change this slightly. We can do a vent right here. And then we'll have this one branch off to this side. I don't like that. Anyway, back to the way it was. What else could go up here? Vent? Yeah, we could. I could just make another vent system. Like, that's not the worst thing. Let's just make a second vent. For some focusing. Yeah, so here, here, here. They're like the same thing, just flipped, aren't they? I did just build the exact same layout. Anyway. The second vent is in the roof. No. This will be a tragedy. I like that a bit better. Yeah, we could do a ladder. I mean, there is this, because this is the current way up to the police roof. Yeah, where a ladder might not feel parkour-y enough. Though we could make a second way up. Yeah, it's always good to have options. Do a little bit of this. What did I use over here? A little bit of this as well. Then this and this. That. There we are. And then if I want to make this look a little bit more crumbly as well, I could. Oh, I did just realize I probably actually should put a ladder of some sort. But you know what? We have two ways up. I'm just gonna make it like a non-functional ladder. I'm evil like this. Just gonna get a little evil with it. A little dastardly even. Where can I put this? Oh wait, this roof is not conducive for this. Crap, I need to think about how in the world they get up to their own helipad. I mean, they have a helipad up there and they have crates. How in the world did they get those up there? Maybe an indoor ladder. Oh, one thing I could do is make so it's like one of those drop down ladders. Like this. Oh, that comes up directly under a crate. So if I did that, that might kind of look like a drop down ladder. Chimney Canopy Blue Lizard graffiti. Yep, Chimney Canopy Blue Lizard is here. The almighty, powerful Chimney Canopy Blue Lizard. I could put some graffiti on here. Let's see. Let's see if I can actually make this work. I gotta go down here to my graffiti test zone. We have a pretty good canvas size. I don't really have to worry about. Oh yeah, this is the other version of the city. Oh wait, I can't do graffiti there. Never mind. That would show on the inside of the building. That one can't have graffiti. Darn. That's a shame. I didn't think about that. Either way, this is now covered. So there's now a new way to get up here. Perfect. Say that a lot, but I mean, nothing's ever perfect that I make. It's more just a way of saying, like, yeah, I'm happy with what it is. I mean, I think the police station's come along quite nice this stream. What if crazy idea you made the wall 1 block thicker? No one would even notice. mess up the vibes. No, it would mess up the symmetry. I think on any other building that would be fine. But this one I need the specific like one block, so it's mostly glass. I think there's like the one building I can't get away with that. I'll detail this eventually. Heard you sound like a band teacher. How dare you say something like that? I'm offended. I'm so offended I might just end stream, to be honest. I definitely wasn't just gonna wrap it up anyway. Everyone blame Ender for this. But I think it is time to wrap it up. Put their advertisement there? Oh yeah, I could. Maybe I'll cook up something and put it there. But it is getting kind of late. So, thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm currently playing and streaming tomorrow Rain World. We're gonna be doing, I'm thinking Gourmand next. Oh no, Hunter next. Hunter next. Never mind. Hunter. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe, follow. Bye everyone.